It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose. These headphones are great. Very nice and loud. 410-26, 502.
I changed the settings.
They're really nice and loud. I can hear my voice and everything. Can I wear them all the time?
Something's going on with your voice. Crap. Sorry, I got distracted there. I don't have my notes. Okay. We're live streaming on Facebook on the Radio Zero page and Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJCUSA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts. You can go to radiozero.us. There's an RSS feed. You can patronize us at patreon.com. And,
Romper bumpers, stomper boo, tell me, do. Tell me, magic mirror today, did all of my friends have fun at play?
It's been a while. We have a new patron, Stephen L.
Thanks, Stephen L. Wow, right. Key change. Yeah.
Thanks to all our patrons.
And that music is from Romper Room.
Romper Room.
Right. Yeah, congratulations for becoming one of our what do we call our posse?
Zeros.
Really? That's kind of funny. Did you just make that up?
I did.
Good. All right. Good. Very, very creative of you. I'm in a terrible mood today, so don't fuck with me, man. I'm in a terrible mood. Are you turning it down a little? Because it is pretty, like, I'm not used to hearing my voice that loud.
Yeah, I changed some settings, and I don't understand why my settings haven't changed. Yeah, so you've got the radio voice.
Okay. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Now we're gonna hear from Rick Valentin. Rick, what do you have to say for yourself? What do you make of the political situation, Rick? What do you
I
think
try
of
to
the
stay
war?
out of politics.
What do you think of the war at Israel, Rick?
Israel?
Iran. What do you think? What do you think of the war in Iran? America first.
I don't know. Yeah, is it a war? I thought it was a
excursion. God, I mean, I am to the point that this is the week when he did something really bad, our president, and he threatened. He was like, I'm gonna bomb Iran. I'm going to kill all the people of Iran. That's basically what he said, right? It was going to be obliterated or something if they didn't reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which was open before.
Yeah, and he used the F word.
Oh
too,
yeah,
on Easter.
Yeah. So what do you usually call him?
What do you mean?
A troll, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and he did something else too. It was just like horrific, and it's like the thing on Easter, like swearing on Easter about like swearing and saying he's going to kill somebody, and then the Pope gets involved. Like, hey, you shouldn't do that. That's not a Christian thing to do. Although the Pope is Catholic, so.
Well, J.D. Vance is Catholic, and so I think the Pope was saying what?
Yeah, no, they're battling, right? What was the Pope saying?
It was waging war is not Christian.
Well, then what were those things called? The escapades, I think they called them. The escapades back in the Spanish escapades.
The Crusades.
The Crusades. I knew it was something like that.
And I don't know who I was listening to. Somebody was talking about how the Crusades went very badly and caused a lot of problems and did not. The Crusades wound up being disastrous. So it's weird that these zealots, these members of the Christian death cult, are kind of talking about a new Crusades when the original Crusades were a tragedy.
I feel like Donald J. Trump and whoever else is kind of in charge over there knows about as much about history as I do.
Oh yeah, it's all I mean, it's just using words.
Yeah. And then even saw, like, I try not to pay that close attention anymore. This is how it was happening before, but like, somebody was like, I was talking to my friend, but I was in Lebanon, and then I said, I had to stop talking to my friend, and I was telling, my other friend about it, and they were like, oh my God, who's bombing Lebanon? Why are there bombs being dropped? So people have no idea what's going on. I think people, like, there's like it really is like 1984. It's amazing.
So, like, if people knew what was going on, what would happen? Like, would things be different?
Well, so you were talking a little bit about the draft yesterday. Like, I think that, like, the moderates who are like, well, I don't know, I kind of like Trump because he says it how it is. Then all of a sudden, like, their kids are gonna be drafted. They might be like, wait, what?
So I wasn't talking about the draft because
Okay.
there isn't a draft right now.
Right. Okay.
They're just automating selective service. So, like, for instance, back in when did I turn 18? 1984. Do the math. I had to go to the post office, the Altgeld post office, right? In the
There was
math building, and it was a little tiny window, just a window, and kind of an entry, like one of the doors in the math building, and kind of like it wasn't even a lobby. It was kind of like almost like a closet with a window, right? A sliding.
It was
window.
really cool. And Altgeld, Altgeld was all wooden, beautiful.
Yeah, paneled.
Yeah.
And you'd go up to the counter, and there'd always be tons of people, right, waiting in line to ship a package to Indonesia or something, like international student, everything. It was a very active little post office. But then, I had to get my selective service form and fill it out and turn it in at the post office.
Were you scared? What did you think about that?
I don't remember actually.
Would you fight if they drafted you, would you go? Would you have gone?
Think? What do you think?
I think you'd be gay. You seem like a gayster.
Well, I don't think that's an issue anymore. I mean, that would be interesting to see what would happen with if there is a draft, next year, if they institute a new draft. I'm going to assume that homosexuality will not be a way to get out of the draft.
I'm going to assume that it will be.
Yeah, so they're going to do like a retro thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think, and then women, no, you can't be a woman in it either.
Right, and then college students, like, will they go that far where it'll be like, oh yeah, you get
Here's
your
my
college deferment?
No, you ready?
Okay,
Only college students.
right. Exactly.
Hey-o.
So that's what Busboy was saying. He was saying they're going to take, college students because they need
smart ones.
smart people
Great.
to
Wait,
run
which
run
bus
the
boy?
drones.
The older or the younger bus boy?
There's Dairy King
Oh, okay. Oh, he's
or
bus boy.
cameraman,
Yeah.
and then there's Busboy,
Or a piano man.
piano man.
Okay.
Yeah, but so I checked, and because Dairy King was like, oh, I don't remember him registering for selective service, but I looked it up, and in Illinois, it's automatic when you get your over 18 driver's license.
Why do you think they did that? Just for convenience, so people don't get screwed? Like, hey, you forgot to selective service? Because Illinois seems like a nice state to live in.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like voter registration. I don't know. It's like an official thing you have to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not. And so that's the thing is I think it's automated, right? And so that's the thing is what's happening now is they're going to automate it. They're going to just make everybody. You turn 18 and they just look in the database and they pop you onto the selective service list or whatever.
It's like
instead of having to. So apparently it's only 81% of 18 to 26-year-old males are registered with Selective Service. So there are some states where it's not an automatic thing like with the driver's license and stuff. So now they're going to move to just automate it for everybody.
And then I saw a bunch of critiques that, people are like, how can they can do that, but they can't automate voting?
Right. Yeah. Or voter registration, right? What's it called? Driver. What do they call that when you
motor voter or something?
Yeah, motor voter bills
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, yeah. And then also, I guess you've got your what is it? The TSA thing, right? What is it called?
Pre-check?
No, the thing that to fly on planes now with your driver's license.
Oh, I don't know. Oh.
You know what it is.
RadioZero or something, or Real ID.
Real ID, yeah. So that's done, yeah. So it's apparently all those things are fine. It's just registering someone to vote can't do that.
Well, because
at the driver's license bureau, at the DMV.
If they want more intelligent people in the Army, why don't they enlist women? Hey-oh. Oh, it's my voice just cracked. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I can't be in the Army.
So I guess it is a little worrisome that they're extending or automating Selective Service, but it actually seems kind of like, right. That should happen. That should have happened a long time ago, right? With all the database, everything. Yeah. I mean, everybody's being tracked. Everybody's got a social security number. I mean, every citizen. And so, but obviously maybe not obviously, but that's what everyone's assuming, is that this is a precursor then to a draft. Yeah.
Okay. We have a caller here. Danny Ingram says, if there is a draft, I'm moving my kids to Germany.
Germany.
I was wondering about Portugal, just because, I heard that it's cheap and, Uncle Bob moved there, but
I've got to go to New Zealand.
New Zealand's really far away.
Yeah, but that's the reason why you got to go to New Zealand, because at least
the fallout won't hit you.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be a little better down there. I mean, that's where that's where the 1%ers have their compounds, their bunkers.
Lawrence Edwards Summer says, police shooting in Highwood. Wow, not even Highland Park, Highwood, huh? Stay safe, my friend. Okay. I wonder if it's the police are shooting or the police getting shot. And why are they getting shot? On the monitor here, you're yawning because it's okay. And Larry says, if there's a draft, I may end up in jail. You're older though, I think, right? They're not gonna they take them from 18 to 25, right? Is that what it is?
18 to 26, I believe.
18 to
but
26.
Maybe it is 25. Wow. Maybe it's under 18. Yeah. Maybe it's 18 to 25, but 26 is the cutoff. I
honor anybody who has served in our military. I just think I'm so happy for you that you get to do that and that you want to do that. But if you don't want to do it, I don't think you should have to do it. And I would move out of the country. I would move my children out of the country in a heartbeat. I would give up everything we have here and go live anywhere. Okay. But anyway, so all right. So what else is going on? Well, here I have a prop. The local store, the Garlic Press, not a sponsor, just restocked their Smiskis. They got new Smiskis, and a Smisky looks to be a little plastic thing that comes in a hexagonal box, colorful box, and there are a series of them. And inside, you don't get to see which Smiski you get, but you can choose like one of the series. So I chose the workout one, I think it looks like. These are my first ones. Exercising, it says. And on the box, there's like a little round fella that's like sort of this weird, like what color would you call this? It's like glow in the dark yellow. So it's not like, I think they glow in the dark.
I would call that green.
Yeah,
it's green. Dark green.
It's green. Yeah. So it's like this kind of weird, washed out, like sort of pea soup green. And then the one for the exercising, there's a little guy with a hula hoop around it. And so I was really excited. Like I wanted to see which one I would get for the exercising one. But then there's also a series called Yoga. And while I'm not into yoga, the little guy in the front of that one is meditating. And it's so like, I was like, oh man, I want to get that one, you know. So I bought 2 of them. They're around $12 to $14 each. And when I opened the exercising one up, and I thought that maybe I would have whatever little Smiski like near me, so it would remind me to exercise. And then this yoga one, though, I was really hoping I would get the little guy who was sitting, and like in a meditation pose, and that's the one I got. I was so happy. And there's like, I don't know how many there are of the yoga one, but it looks like Rick is taking a picture of it now, so that might be the front of it. But if you're looking at our screen, I don't know if I can. I'm holding him up, but I'm really happy to have gotten this one. But it was really interesting because like they were out for months, I think, from the garlic press, and then they posted on Facebook, the Smiskis are back in, and they had like a giant pallet of them, and then Busboy and I went in there today because Busboy is a Smiski head. I think they call them Smiski heads, or a Smiski. And we went in there, and there's like a line. There are like people, and you could only buy 4 at a time. It said only 4 per person, at most 4 per person. And there was a line. I had to wait for like a good 20 minutes before I could get to the Smiski area.
There was a line for the Smiskis?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then like when I was like just thinking about holding, you know, this is gratifying to hold this box. There's a gradient, like an orange to yellow gradient on this hexagonal, beautiful little box. It's all, is this Japanese writing? Looks like it's Japanese writing, or maybe it's Chinese writing. Yeah, no, it says made in China. So, well, that doesn't mean anything though, right? So I don't know what type of.
And what are they made out of?
They seem like plastic or rubber.
What's plastic made out of?
Oil.
Oil. Sorry,
made
just
out
checking.
Of, like the Strait of Hormuz. Like, did this come straight from the Strait of Hormuz? Is this why we couldn't get any?
You know, that reminds me. Well, the natural gas, right, is more Strait of Hormuz stuff, right? And then
here's the other
we got
one.
a message the other day from, was it Nicor Gas? Yeah, that said our prorated monthly gas bill was going to go up $100 a month. And
really?
Then, yeah, and then I heard a thing on the radio where it was saying, they were saying, I think it must have been Planet Money or something. They were saying that the oil, you know, issues with oil, right, that'll affect the United States, but natural gas won't. And it's like natural gas prices in the United States aren't supposed to be aren't being impacted by this war. And I was like, well, then why did Nicor just send me tell me that I'm going to be paying $100 more a month for my gas?
Does this happen sometimes though? Anyway,
Yeah, but never, not an increase of $100, and it's gone down occasionally where it's like, oh, I'm paying. You know, they prorate it across the year, and so I guess So then the question is well, we're going into summer. That shouldn't increase. I mean,
yeah, and we don't have air conditioning. Like that's one nice thing, you know, that we do for the environment is not have air conditioning.
Yeah, and that's Ameren. That's the electric.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this is our
gas
heat.
Yeah. Huh.
And our stove.
It might go the price.
And our water. Yeah, actually our water heater too.
Yeah.
And that might be part of it too, because now that we've got
Dairy King's
back in town.
He does the 1 hour shower power hour.
Doubles our water and probably increases our gas bill.
Yeah, maybe we should have a little discussion with him.
A regulation. Maybe I can always turn off the water heater so that at some point he drains. Yeah, so then that'll put a cap on how long he can shower.
All right. Okay, so that's my Smiskis. I've got 2 of them, and then the busboy got a Salvador Dali Smiski. I don't have it with me, but it was kind of laying down, and it had a melted clock on it. And the melted clock was a different color.
So the ones that get melted in the pressing process or whatever it is.
Our
Injection
dolly
mold. They're dolly.
You think about this. This is just like the what are those things called? The Moldoramas. Except that on the Moldorama, you know what you're going to get. So yeah, I was thinking, I was thinking how long, what is going to be the elapsed of time between me purchasing this and me opening it, because that's all the anticipation. And we had a talk about anticipation in hip hop that was kind of neat. So I was thinking about that today too. But like that's the anticipation, and then once you open it, then then there's no surprise anymore. You just have a Smiski. I guess you do with it what you decide to do with it. But I was thinking about just because I went to visit my mom and sisters too, and there's sometimes shopping involved in that. And it's like I always think about when is the most exciting part of the acquisition? Is it right after you get it, or is it right before you get it, or is it as you pay the money for it? Like when is the most when is your excitement level the highest? Do you ever think about that?
No, I don't. I mean, I think about like buyer's remorse.
Yeah. Danny says, are those like Hummel figurines for hipsters? Yeah, for sure.
They're only going to increase in value.
Low key, they are. I've decided to start using low key.
They're like Beanie Babies.
Oh man, don't say that. These are glow in the dark. And look, the Beanie Babies don't do yoga. I guess they do. It's like there'd be probably a little unicorn doing yoga. These are kind of cool. I wonder what happens if you wash them. I wonder if you have to wash them. Okay.
And if anyone's curious how much we're getting paid by Smiski Incorporated,
not a sponsor.
Not enough.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so what's next? What movies have you watched lately?
I don't think I've watched any movies lately.
Well, okay. You know what's really interesting? So there's a group in one of my classes, and I asked them, "What are you going to do for your final project?" So there's a couple of final projects in my classes. Maybe we can talk about our final upcoming projects.
When do you start? Are you starting those next week?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They've been thinking in the music business 2 class. They've been thinking about them for 12 weeks or so. Maybe not 12, but maybe close to 12. And that assignment is just you have to do something that lands on your resume, like something that you can write about in your resume. So it could be like record a CD or put out I don't know, do the cover art for a record, or I made a video, or I did one of the groups is doing we have a display case in the Center for Visual Arts, and they're decorating it. I think they're doing that. I'm trying to think. Somebody else is doing many podcast series. There's a conducting podcast series that's very exciting. What was I gonna say though? Oh, no, I can't remember. Shoot. And then in the other class, the other class has got to do presentations. And I can't remember why I was talking about this now. But now I remember. So one of the presentations, the group started thinking about that they were going to do, what was it? They're going to do color, the use of color in film and how it changed, what it does, which is pretty wide topic. So they learn to do they go to the library and they learn to do research. Here's how you find research papers on stuff. And so there are 57,329 academic papers on color in film. So now you need to narrow it down. So this one group, and they weren't there today, but the one group decided they're going to do the use of color and how it affects you in the movie Whiplash. And I was like, oh man, that's awesome. Right. And then I said, who decided to do that? And we all decided as a group. And I'm like, wow, okay. Have you guys seen it? And none of them had seen the movie. And I'm like, why did you choose that movie then? I don't know. We just heard it was good. But so then I was talking to some other kid in the class, and he was like, "Oh, I know all about that." And then he just started talking about the use of color in Whiplash. And there's I can't remember the guy's name. let's call him Marty Supreme.
But not.
It's not Marty Supreme.
Timmy.
Yeah, not Timmy. But yeah, it starts out blue and they get some more golden and apparently there are like 30-minute long like video essays on this. And then I started thinking, oh man, is it weird to make them read academic papers when people are doing 30-minute long video essays and those are more, okay guys, welcome to my channel. Here's a little bit of Whiplash movie, and then they like show that, like maybe that's the research now.
Well, there are some pretty involved, like I've seen a few, film kind of critique kind of, in 30 minutes, 2 hours, right? They're involved, but that's again secondary. I think they've done all the research, right? And so you're watching somebody else's results of their research, right? So it's kind of like what? Not a secondary source, right? Would it be? Yeah, it's kind of like you're just those videos would be. Oh, we're gonna do analysis of color in this film, and then you watch a whole 30-minute video on the analysis of color in the film. You're not really. That's not research. I would say that's you watching and preparing to lift all of the material that this person has done. Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but maybe it's easier for them to watch that and then look for it in the writing and then figure out. I don't know, then they can figure out what to look for. I don't know. And so Tina's saying the new Frankenstein used color changes effectively for feels. Yeah, I was saying, if you guys are going to choose Whiplash, why don't you? And you haven't even seen it. Why don't you compare and contrast it with another movie or something, right? But anyway, that got other people in the room very excited because they like the movie Whiplash.
Yeah, Whiplash is a music movie, right?
Yeah. So, and then I was thinking, like the one movie that sticks out in my mind. There's The Wizard of Oz with the color change, from black and white to the color, and then there's the Steven Spielberg Nazi movie with the little girl in the pink dress. You get to follow her along until she dies, and then spoiler alert. Actually, does she die? I think she must, right? And
the girl with the red dress
right?
in Schindler's List?
Yeah.
Yes. That's the tragic part, is that like you see her and she's wandering around, and then later you see a pile of bodies, and there's one body has a little red coat on it.
Did he win? Was it pink? Wasn't it pink? Did he win the award? Oh, it was red. Okay. All right.
I think he won, for that.
Yeah, finally.
If he didn't, I mean, what? Yeah, if he didn't get the Academy Award for Schindler's List, then it would be like
racism.
It would be totally like, oh, this. I mean, come on.
Thank you, Jeffrey Davis. Yes, it is Schindler's List. Okay. Got it.
I remember something I did watch. I'm like bottom of the barreling now with Pluto, and so when I popped Pluto on, I actually turned on The Love Boat.
Really?
And it was a 2-part episode. They were going to Italy, and or it was a cruise to Italy, and then they were traveling to different ports in Italy, and they were actually there. And who was in it? Well, the most important thing is that Gopher Fred Grandy, there was evil twin and an Italian. I don't think he was even a cousin. He was just a guy who looked like him and was the childhood sweetheart of the the American woman with a bad Italian accent that was on the boat that Gopher had fallen in love with, and then this guy kidnaps Gopher and dresses up as him, and then that gives Fred Grandy lots of opportunity to do broad, crazy Italian accents, and then also a weird American accent because he's playing a Italian stereotype, trying to talk like an American stereotype. But then, and this is the important part. So then there's this whole storyline with Ernest Borgnine, Shelley Winters, and then their granddaughter.
Shelley Winters on another boat?
Yes, this is what I want to talk about.
Jesus Christ.
I want to talk about.
Okay.
And then Marie Osmond is playing Maria, their granddaughter, who is being set up in an arranged marriage with an Italian guy.
Wow.
But she falls in love with an Italian guy on the boat, and there's lots of drama because she's, falling in love with this Italian guy, but she's got to marry this arranged marriage when she gets to Rome or whatever. But do you? And I was so angry at the end. I only watched maybe the last half of the second episode of the 2-part. I was so angry that I did not guess what was going to happen at the end. Can you guess what happens at the end?
I'm really dying to just say, I know. It's now, Russ, you ruined it for me because I wanted to say Ernest Borgnine 99999.
Yeah. And so,
how many more lives?
So it turns out the Italian guy that Marie Osmond falls in love with is the actual guy that she's being arranged to marry.
That's so...
He was checking her out because he's a millionaire or whatever, and wanted to see who it was, and so I can't believe I did not realize
see that coming.
Yeah, man,
your powers are growing weak, old man.
But so yeah, Ernest Borgnine, Shelley Winters, so both from Poseidon Adventure, right, on
a boat,
and then that got me thinking because we had our record label magnate Chris Gary was in town. Is
that his real
week.
name?
No, it's his.
Okay, that's his stage name.
Stage name.
Okay, Chris Gary.
His business name.
Okay.
Yeah, because
not Gary Chris.
No, Chris Gary.
All right.
And then he was watching Night of the Hunter, and then I realized Shelley Winters. There's the famous shot of her underwater, drowned. Well, she doesn't get drowned.
Now you just ruined it for me.
Yeah, there's a lot more in Night of the Hunter than Shelley Winters dying. That's about that's like halfway through, maybe not even that. There's the famous scene with her it's like a Model T submerged underwater, right? Was she
bad? Was she
no,
evil?
No. She gets
Poor Shelley
murdered
Winters.
by
Oh,
Robert
God.
Mitchum.
Fucker.
And then and I'm like, how many water related deaths are there? And is Shelley Winters going to die on the Love Boat? But no, she did not die. But apparently she was a good swimmer.
Okay.
And so she trained because is she a swimmer? Her character a swimmer in Poseidon Adventure?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so
here's the weird thing, though.
Talk about
we were
Poseidon
also
Adventure.
talking about Chico and the Man with Chris Gary.
Yeah.
And then I found out that Shelley Winters was in an episode of Chico and the Man with Jack Albertson. What was Jack Albertson in? Do you remember?
The Towering Inferno?
No.
Are you sure? I don't know who you're talking about. I'm just making a guess.
Grandpa Joe from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the old man from Chico and the Man.
Oh, okay. What else was he in? Okay, wait. Oh, was he the guy in the Poseidon Adventure?
Yeah, he's in Poseidon Adventure too.
Wow. I know there's an old man. Because my parents used to bet. So if you haven't seen the Poseidon Adventure...
Who hasn't seen the Poseidon Adventure?
And it is in a Killdozer song. It's a fantastic song. It's the best Killdozer song. But it's a boat. They're on a cruise, and then it turns into a nightmare because the boat turns over. The boat turns over, and so the ceiling is the floor, and they have to and so Shelley Winters, and there's a priest, right? Those old man, a priest, I can't remember, and then of course there's two little kids, and there's
Gene Hackman's a priest, right? But he's like a hip priest, right? Because he doesn't have the collar; he's got a turtleneck.
Yeah. They died yelling, "How many?" He died yelling, "How many more lives?" This is a great Killdozer song too, but so this is when that used to go on, my mom and dad, we'd all watch it as a family. I was a little girl, and my mom and dad would bet on who was going to die next. They'd be, "Oh, come on, no, I'm telling you, the old man dies next. $50 says the old man dies next. No, it's Shelley Winters. No, the old man." I'd be like, wow, those are my formative years. That's what made me who I am. Yeah. So, all right. So now tell us about, you and Chris Gary were talking about Chico and the Man. Why?
Why were we talking about it? I think he made a reference. He was talking about making a reference
Maybe.
to Chico and the Man.
Yeah, and maybe my forced sister Sarah was I can't remember if she was if there was if she was watching it or I don't know.
No.
Well,
I don't think it was that.
There's
no,
a lot
it was
of,
something about
okay.
using it as a reference, and it was like kids would not know Chico and the Man.
Because it's not on Pluto, right? How would you see Chico and the Man?
Yeah, I don't think it is on Pluto.
And so, but you would see All in the Family, maybe. Anyway, okay, so a bunch of those characters were on the Love Boat and also in the Poseidon Adventure. When did the Poseidon Adventure? Did that come out before this Love Boat or after?
Yeah. So the Love Boat episode was one of the last. Like it was in the early '80s. So that was Whereas the Chico and the Man would have been what, mid 70s? So maybe a couple years after Poseidon Adventure. Was Poseidon Adventure 74, 75? I feel like Towering Inferno was 74. So I think.
And Earthquake.
Was Towering Inferno? No, it was after. Yeah, Earthquake was earlier. It went Earthquake. Somebody can check me on this. Earthquake, then Poseidon Adventure, then Towering Inferno, I think.
Films by Irwin Allen. Danny Ingram says, I remember the Mad Magazine send up the Poop Side Down Adventure. My goodness.
Yeah, that's how I didn't see a lot of like any R-rated movie or like more mature movie from the 70s. I know from Mad Magazine.
You didn't get to see it.
What is it? Like one was like the Brian De Palma movie, and it's not even it wasn't a big one. The one that's kind of like Vertigo. What is it called? I can't even remember. But just reading the whole the one with Cliff Robertson.
I remember, but I can't remember it. But you'd have to read about it in Mad Magazine.
Oh yeah, and I knew the whole story. I knew the movie, right?
Yeah.
Because they were parodying it, but it was, And in fact, Apocalypse Now, I remember I got to see it in college, a year or two after it came out. But when I was in high school, there was, it was like there was a Saturday Night Live sketch with Martin Sheen. And it was just like,
God.
With him lying on a bed with the
fan
fan going. And it was like, so that's, and I think
Saigon.
even the end playing.
Shit.
And so it was like, wow, it's like, all the parodies are the way you found out about movies that you weren't allowed to see.
Dressed to Kill, Danny Ingram says.
It's not Dressed to Kill. No,
not that one?
No, that's
okay.
that's the Rear Window one, right? There are a lot of Brian De Palma Hitchcock ripoffs. This is the one with it's in the mid 70s. Cliff Robertson. They're two. I can't even remember who the woman is in it. But it's wow, is it what's her name? But it's two women who look the same. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Dressed to Kill has. No, I'm thinking of what's the other one?
Oh, is this like a Sharon
Stone movie? It is Dressed
movie?
to Kill, right? It has the two women also. Yeah.
Do they talk to each other? You know what I saw today? What?
You know what somebody said that the Artemis 2 mission passed the Bechdel test?
That's funnier than I saw a meme with there's like a Klingon Bechdel test if two Klingons talk to each other in an episode or something like that. Yeah. That's so funny. The Artemis 2 passed the Bechdel test. That's hysterical. I like that. The Bechdel test, for those of you who don't, I'm getting used to teaching now, right? For those of you who don't know, that's a test that you can give to any media, for, movies, and it's something like two things, or maybe even just one rule. If two women in the movie talk to each other, and they talk to each other not about the hero, who's always going to be a man.
They're not talking about
a man.
A man or the man's business.
Yeah. Then
I was thinking of Body Double, but that's also not. This is not the movie that with Cliff Robertson. So there's Body Double. There's Dressed to Kill. But then there's let me see if I can find it. What's the one? The Brian De Palma one from the 70s.
Is Brian De Palma legit now?
Obsession.
Okay. And when
so
I'm
a more
saying
obscure
Sharon,
one, I guess. That's the one that's really, I think. Oh, and Paul Schrader wrote it. with Brian De Palma. I didn't know that.
When I'm saying Sharon Stone, is that right? Is she in it?
No.
Okay.
Obsession. Yes. So the woman. Oh, Genevieve Bujold.
Oh, she's pretty.
But yeah, so she must be the woman in. Oh no, Obsession. No, she doesn't. Maybe Obsession doesn't have two. I just can't remember. I can't keep them straight.
Okay.
Because in Mad Magazine, it was called Sob Session.
Oh, so it said, and now like one wonders. See, like. Now I was thinking that sounds like Succession. So like there isn't even any parroting of that stuff though, right?
And the other thing is this like. What was I watching with Cliff Robertson recently? Where
was he here?
Cliff Robertson?
Yeah. You were watching it with him, get it? You were like in the room watching it with him.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
no.
yeah.
I think it might have just been 3 Days of the Condor again. And it was like, oh man, Cliff Robertson's wearing a wig. He's wearing a rug. And then now I can't look at him. Like anytime I see him in a movie, it's just like I'm just looking at the hairpiece. And I can't believe it took me that long to realize. Because it's like, and I guess maybe it's because within the 70s context, maybe it's you just accepted that people's hair looked that way. But it was like, oh no, man, dude's wearing a wig.
Did we talk about the Stars Trek that we watched? Because we were watching a lot of them.
Stars Trek?
Yes.
Is that plural?
Yes.
Because they're going to different solar systems, so it's so when you say more than one,
thought it was funny.
It's Stars Trek. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like Attorneys General.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we talk about the Stars Trek?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, well, because like it would come on, and like I'd like what were we were trying to figure out, like. Because there are, I wanted to see City on the Edge of Forever, right? That's one of the best ones. Spock's Brain is generally known as the worst one, right? And then there's The Trouble with Tribbles. And I was trying to think, and I know that they play them in order on Pluto. Is that Pluto that we're watching?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they play him in order. So it's like, oh, I recognize this guy. The Liberace guy. Remember that? That one came on. They're like, oh, we're on a different planet, and then there's a Liberace guy. Like, what's that all about?
But then, yeah, and I'd forgotten it. And there are a couple episodes like this where it's like, oh, he's a child, right? They take away his parents, his godlike parents, the voices. Echoing, like take the planet away from him because he's not playing nicely with the aliens.
That was the Liberace guy?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I missed the ending of it. Now I'm sad.
And then there's the one where I guess that it's the opposite where what's his name? Opie's brother is the little baby who's running the planet. Cliff. Is that right?
I don't know.
What's his name? I can't remember. Clint.
Oh, yeah. I missed some of those. But it's just, you walk in, it's 7 p.m., so you got a good 3 hours. Like you can, excuse me, there's probably, you're going to have access to the next 3 Stars Trek in the series. And even you might even be like, oh man, City on the Edge of Forever was the one before this, but it's kind of like I could have almost watched it. So it's very exciting. So I think I had to look it up, and it was 6 episodes away from City on the Edge of Forever, and it was like 8 o'clock or something. So I was like, fuck, it's going to be on at like 4 a.m.
And
we could have DVR'd it.
Again, not a sponsor. Been mentioning Pluto a lot, but you can do on demand, like so you just go in and find that.
Does
Star
it
Trek
cost money?
No.
Oh,
it has ads.
Oh,
yeah. Another episode popped on a while ago, and it had what's his name from he's in 2001 Space Odyssey. The guy who
not
dies.
Keir.
Yeah, not Keir Delay. The guy who dies. Gary. Is it Gary Lockwood? Yeah, Gary Lockwood.
That sounds right.
And then Sally Kellerman. They're both in, and they're wearing silver contact lenses, and they're holding their heads up kind of at a weird angle because to get so that the light catches the silver contact lenses. It's really funny to watch them You know,
Oh,
it
man.
kind of looks like they're kind of leaning their heads back like they're superior beings, but it's kind of obvious that it's like, yeah, in order
They
to
couldn't
get
move the light down?
yeah, like to
Because it
get the
would've-
lighting
yeah,
right,
yeah.
they had to kind of tilt their heads back a little bit.
That's great. Wow. Yeah. So have you seen anything else? So, and that came from, we were watching, I think we talked about like the Have Gun Will Travel, the Paladin. I even sang the song, so I'm not going to do that again. So, yeah. So scraping the bottle.
Yeah. So the thing is like, yeah, looking at the Love Boat through, you know, an elderly person's eyes now, you know, and seeing, I must have watched a whole episode because I saw the opening credits, and each story has a separate writer. Like they,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So it's like,
Oh.
and it makes perfect sense, but it's like, oh yeah. And then I realized it's also kind of like, it's just like Love American style on a boat, right? Because you remember Love American style would
I
have like
do.
the three, but they would be segments, right? They wouldn't intertwine. So that, I guess, Love Boat's a little more complicated.
I mean, that just reminds, like, it's like when I heard about the pit. Okay, the Star Trek sick bay has a sound like a muted bass guitar. Thanks, Russ. When you know we started watching the pit, and it's like, oh, every episode is an hour, like, and that's, I mean, I feel like that's like a MacGuffin for its brilliance. No, excuse me. Is there a sneeze button? I feel like that. Okay, yeah. I feel like that doesn't even matter because it's so brilliant. It's so much fun to watch. And I know we're getting long in the tooth on it. I know we got like maybe two episodes left. We haven't watched this week's one.
We watch it tonight.
Yeah. Like you have to keep up on it. It's just like politics. You got to keep up on it. Otherwise, it's you know
You get spoilers.
Yeah, you get spoilers. Yeah, on your Facebook feed. But I'm really enjoying it. I just like, it's just a parade of characters. Just like, oh no, here comes another person who's has lost their butt cheek, and then another person. There's like even these like background characters. Like, did we even meet the woman who's like, like it takes place on July 4th.
Yeah.
So there's a woman like dressed up. There's a woman dressed up like the Statue of Liberty, but
no, she's got a red, white, and blue, or like a American flag bikini.
Oh, but she's bright.
She's sunburnt.
She's been burnt, like
violently sunburnt.
Yeah, and she's just walking around.
Yeah, no, they do the little check-in, you know, in the room with her.
Yeah.
And then, then later she's wandering around in the background. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's so good. And then there are a lot of takes where the main characters kind of are walking past a window, like in a room, and they just like, you can, like, they do a second take. You know, you can see them like kind of lean over, like, what's going on in there? Like,
it's really interesting seeing the way they shoot it. Like, did we talk about? I feel like maybe we talked about this.
I didn't
a while
pay
ago.
attention though.
They run, you know, with a, like, it's not a Steadicam, but like a camera, and they run through a scene with the camera, and they're shooting one direction, right? They're shooting what's his name? Right, Dr. Robbie, right?
Yeah.
And he's walking through, and they do that, and then they go back, and then they shoot the same scene, like, you know, 3-4 minutes long, with the camera on Nurse Betty, whatever her name is, right? and they the two of them talking, and so they do multiple run throughs or shots, like continuous shots of the scene, and then they cut between those. They're not retaking the same thing. They're retaking different angle, or they're doing different angles, and then they cut back and forth between. So it's like take one is the Dr. Robbie take, and then take two is the Nurse Betty take, and then maybe take three. They might do another one with, I don't know, somebody else, right?
One of the student doctors.
Yeah. And so then they cut back and forth between those three takes to get the different
normal,
angles.
Like, isn't that how we would like make a poster children video?
That's how you would make a music video sometimes, right? Yeah. It's not the way like you traditionally would do a single camera setup. You would shoot a number of takes kind of from one setup and then move then turn around and get the other side.
These are consistent.
Yeah,
it's
you
like a
always
play.
cut
It's like you're recording a play.
Yes, that's the thing.
Okay.
Is they're doing kind of an extended take as opposed to cutting. Yeah, so they have like 3 long takes that they cut.
Oh, we have another caller here. So this is Gabe Daigle. Super curious about the S trees. I'm gonna guess that's Screaming Trees. In the early days, touring with them was good. You guys have.
Was that the early
Can't
days?
see that. I can't see the rest of this. Well, let's see if I enter. You guys have. Can you read? Can you?
Let me
so
see if I
many
can
different-
look on the
Yeah.
control panel here. Let me see if I
Yeah.
can get that. Oh no, I can't. Oh yeah, here's. Super curious about the S trees in the early days. Touring with them was good. You guys have seen so many different personalities.
Okay, you want me to talk about fucking Mark Lanigan? I know he's
Again?
dead. Like I know he's dead. And he wrote about us in his book, and he was mean.
And by us, you mean you.
No, he kind of mentioned you. He was like Rick and Rose are aloof, but the Johnny Machine was nice, but like we're like, oh no, I was crying all the time. That's what he wrote. So the bass player was always crying, which is true. Like I was always crying. I was crying a little bit on the tour because that's what I did. Come on, I was the crying bass player. I was mad. Oh, I didn't play well enough, so I would cry.
Women cry.
Yeah. What do you want? But it was really, they were really nice to us though. That's the thing that pissed me off is that they were.
You would say 3/4 of the band? No, Mark.
Mark Leahy was really nice. They were really nice, and I was like in awe of him. I was like, oh, he's letting us go into his dressing room. I was totally in awe. I didn't. I was very surprised.
He was a little gripey about the Jim Morrison things, right? And so, I mean, it is probably true that you did say something about him. What does this guy think he's Jim Morrison?
Yeah, he wrote. I think he wrote that. I said that about him. The only thing is, that's not.
Everybody
really,
said that about him.
Yeah, and it's not really a thing that like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I don't go like
maybe it was another woman who said it.
Yeah, it could have been another woman.
Like one of the few women
there were
that
other
were
women.
ever on
I'm
tour
sure there were other women on that tour
in bands with them.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Maybe Courtney Love said it.
So, Jim Morrison.
Were you the only woman on that tour?
I'm trying
to think.
No,
merch. There was
the
a
merch girl.
Merch girl.
There was a merch girl.
So on big tours, there would be one other woman on, and it would be the merch girl.
I don't like to consider myself a woman on the tour anyway.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's like a sausage party.
Yeah. They did have pizzas, but they were about the Screaming Trees. They were really nice to us. In fact, they were like the example. We'd be like, they were so nice. They paid us well. They, I feel like we went on their tour bus a couple of times.
I never went on their tour bus, but
I may have gone on there once.
I don't think we got paid that well, and it wasn't.
I feel like we got paid $500.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. And they probably got paid $10,000 or something like that.
Although they were, that was the thing is they were talking about having to go back home and work.
Yeah, they were going back home, and we were like, "What do you guys do when you go home?" And I think I wrote this in the book. They were like, "We have to go back to work, don't you?" And we were like, "No, why would we have to go back to work? We're selling T-shirts." And
we were in a van. They were in a bus.
Yeah.
They had the PA.
Right.
They had they were bringing the PA with them, right?
They may have.
Did they?
Yeah.
Maybe
they
not.
were.
No, yeah, they had. That was one of the bands that had the big
truck.
Oh yeah,
they had a truck.
Yeah,
right?
and they had the whole crew.
We also we were like a little like we were like Chicago Steve Albini fans things, so we were like stopping and buying fireworks all the time. Remember that? And then we were blowing them off in the like when everybody would leave, the parking lot would be empty, so you could blow off fireworks. So we were doing that a little bit, but I don't think that upset them.
No.
Right? Remember that?
I don't think there were any problems.
Yeah, but
there were problems.
Yeah.
There were problems. Yeah, there were actually lots of problems, but not
with us.
Not interpersonal.
Yeah. They were nice.
There were problems with promoters and with
Drugs.
chemical imbalances, let's say, and mercurial behavior.
Yeah. So
sometimes violent.
yeah. So if you do heroin and then you decide not to do heroin, it's a problem. You have a withdrawal period and then you get sick a couple of days later is what we learned. And then you have to cancel the show. So your opening band has to find a show because your opening band, the way they find a place to sleep at night is by calling, hey, does anybody have a floor we can sleep on? Off of the stage. And so if the show is canceled, they cannot do that. So we were very lucky. I believe through a friend or through our booking agent, I think we stayed at the Fluids house or the Fluids wife's house.
They set up a show for us, right?
Yes. Yeah. And so we got
Fort
to play.
Collins.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And then later on there, I think that, I kind of feel like, what was it? There was some time when we were in a dressing room and Mark Lanigan threw a bottle. I think we talk about this every so often. Threw a bottle at somebody, but they ducked.
And then there was an instance of a promoter being slapped in the face, and then all the Florida shows being canceled temporarily.
But
shows are off.
Yeah,
basically was the reaction
because the promoter had been slapped.
Oh, hey, the Central Illinois Clowns are going to have to find 3 or 4 shows in Florida. But then apparently everything got fixed.
Do you know what the problem that was when?
Yeah, it was because somebody stole a jacket out of the back. Yeah,
a leather jacket. Somebody's leather jacket got stolen.
It got crazy though with the slapping and the
And our booking agent, our manager called us and said, I heard that, how's the tour going? And I was like, it's great. And they're like, really? Because I heard all kinds of stories like this happened. And I was like, oh yeah, that did happen. And then this happened. And I was like, oh yeah, that did happen too. So, and then I guess I was crying. Apparently I was crying every night. So, but I still remember it being good. Maybe it was a cathartic cry. And I still remember so I think somebody posted it on the electrical audio forum and said, Poster Children had a good run. It was some thread about people being insulted or in print, right? Or something like that. And they were like, oh, that was a good run because nobody ever hated us because we never did anything wrong.
Yeah.
We did one thing wrong, we got there was 1 or 2 problems in the 25 years that we were on tour, or 30 years, I think.
300 years.
Yeah, Robin. Or go ahead. Yeah. Now what? Who? So Gabe. Yeah. Write it again. I'm trying to read. Maybe you can read it. Robin. I wonder who Robin was.
Oh, go ahead and Ellen. Yeah. Was that Robin?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Ellen was our booking agent, but I can't remember who in the Fluid circle was the one who got us the show.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We stayed at their house, the house of maybe a Fluid's wife. Was it? What I remember is she had such a beautiful house, and she had a soap that this is the first time I ever saw a soap with little pearls inside of it. There were all kinds of little, you ever see those fancy, it smelled nice and it had pearls and shit in it. And then the thing about the Fluid was that they lived in Denver, right? And so they would, so if they came down to 0 altitude, they came down to elevation 0, they could play for 3 hours straight. Just
it's the opposite of athletes who need oxygen when they go to Colorado to play a football game or something.
They were gods who lived on the mountain,
acclimatized to the higher altitudes. So when they came down off the mountain, they were supercharged.
Yeah. What other bands? I was thinking about our time on Lollapalooza and just thinking about the Jesus Lizard and stuff, because I think I was in the record store and I saw Jesus Lizard CD.
Oh yeah, they had a new record out.
Yeah.
This fall. And
I thank you for buying those Punk Fest, Midwest Punk Fest tickets, because I get to see my favorite band, The Digits, not a sponsor, not a sponsor. I am so excited with the Smoking Popes. Every time I hear a Smoking Popes song, I'm always like, wow, that's a great song. Who's that? And somebody goes, it's the Smoking Popes. And then I go, oh, I should like them. But,
Yeah.
so I'm
I
excited.
believe their drummer lives here.
Oh yeah. Cool. All right. We've made it to 6 o'clock, and like without me like starting to cry about all the shit that happened at work today. So that's good.
The OBS changed formats again, and I can't see where the clock is on it. But I realize I usually look at the clock on the Roadcaster.
Do you have anything else to say?
No.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. And when school ends in 3 weeks, we'll have a lot more things to we'll be able to read again and not just watch Pluto Stars Trek. And I gotta say this, Rick, I'm very excited to watch the Testaments.
The what?
It comes after the Handmaid's Tale, so you've got some catching up to do.
Ugh.
And I think there's a mall.
There's a mall?
New Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. None of that seems...
Yeah, it's just because you
Seems
did not
exciting
watch.
to me.
You didn't watch. No, I can't remember what it's called. Rebels and the Clone Wars. So my apologies.
right. I did not.
I'm also going to rewatch Dune.
I'm going to save all of my energy for Grogu and the Batman. What is it called? Grogu and the
Mandalorian. That it's probably not as bad as it looks, and the bar is low. It looks really bad. Like it looks
that's the
so terrible.
tagline,
Yeah,
it's probably not as bad as it looks.
It's like for little kids, right? It's like a summer movie. Daddy Grogu. All right. Thanks for listening. And have a good rest of the war.